Hey everybody, welcome back to the Sonic Chronicle. My name is Owen and today we're back with another video. We're going to be doing another playthrough actually. This playthrough is actually something that was requested quite a bit on my last video, on the Renegade Sheep playthrough video. Today we're going to be looking at Madness of the Present Century and how that plays. And you're going to notice a number of similarities between that previous playthrough and this one, but I'll explain them as we go through. Before we get into that though, please do consider hitting the like button. Please do consider subscribing to the channel if you want to see more of this kind of stuff in the future. And leave me comments in the comment section around other videos in the same vein that you might like to see in the future. For now though, I got my SG, got my amp up. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you my settings because I didn't do a very good job of that last time around. So I'm going to show you my settings, but essentially I'm doing the same thing as I did last time. I'm running into my DAW, my digital audio workstation, going into what is effectively a JCM 800 Marshall head into a 4x12 amp. Yeah, it's got an SM57 mic off axis on the amp. Volume is up, gain is up, so yeah, let's crack into it. So we're going to do the same thing as we did last time. We are going to go through section by section, and we are going to try and play by ear the different parts of the song as we go. Now, I have tried to record this once already. I am not having a great run of it when it comes to recording these videos, but case in point. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull it up over here, and we're going to hit the play button. So this again is in drop D. This particular part of this song is not particularly tricky in terms of the chords. It's just an open D, but what is tricky here is the rhythm. Like, you might think that it's a simple but it's not quite that. So if we listen, you see? And then we get the bass part. But let's roll it back here a little bit here. Back to the very beginning. You see, it kind of pauses on the first go. So it doesn't go that double every time. So again, we'll reel it back here. Dun 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 dun. And then it goes on the 1 at the end there. So it doesn't finish on the double either. Finishes on the 1. Then we get the bass part, and then the guitar kicks in. And then it does that twice. And all I'm doing is sliding from the F to the A to the E. And then onto the I suppose the D sharp. And then from there, we get into the main riff. So let's roll that back a sec. Dude. So that's all that is. So that's just... Again, the important part here is this fretting hand and the muting with the fretting hand. Okay. So Combine that with the palm muting, the heavy palm muting back here. And then for that second part, it's just the same riff again. That we then kind of slide from the 13th fret down to wherever. Although ideally you're kind of aiming for around to slide off around the 5th or the 7th fret. So you kind of tight until you're about the 7th or the 5th fret, and then just go kind of pick scrape with your fingers, I suppose. Next section. Same as the intro. Sorry, this isn't the same as the intro. Apologies. Apologies, this isn't the same as the intro at all. This is actually the main riff in this particular song. So it's got this cool little fill. Again, we'll reel it back here. So that main riff part, so it's that but better. Again, we're gonna kind of play from the 3rd to the 5th fret here as well. That's where there's a similarity with Renegade Sheep in place there, because again, you know, if you watch that video, you'll remember that all of that song kind of revolves around the 3rd fret and the 5th fret, you know. So this is kind of going back to that same well, but doing things a little bit differently in terms of the rhythms. And again, the rhythm here is quite frenetic. So that pedaling on that D note. And then you kind of cut it off a little bit shorter then for the second go round, so you can get this fill in. And that's really just from the 12th fret to the 10th fret on the A string, and then from the 13th to the 12th on the D. So you got that palm muting again. And then you kind of take your hand away for those notes that they ring out. They're that little bit clearer, so you're not muddying them up. Pretty cool. Just pretty frenetic, pretty frantic. It's a cool riff. Next part then from there is back to that main riff at the beginning, and then back into this. And then this part, again, very interesting, right? So we've really done like 2 or 3 riffs up to this point, right? We've not done a ton. And this is going to continue using that same riff again. Slight difference in that this riff has changed up the rhythm. So it's... So where the other one was, you know, a bit more frantic, this one is almost a halftime kind of feel. So you're not changing up much. So it kind of goes from that riff, the frantic one, back to. And then back into that halftime feel of that riff that had just preceded it, I suppose. And don't forget to watch the timing on that second go round. It's caught me out a few times while I've been playing it over the course of this video, that it starts that little bit earlier because it's got that extra note. Or those extra notes in there. So that's something to keep an eye out for. Let's keep listening. Oh, and then we just have this. That intro riff again. So that, again, that intro riff is very awkward. It's awkward, but a bit of practice, you'll have that no problem. I should probably practice it more before I made this video, frankly. Then we have another new section. This part, very, very easy. Just that D note on the A string. Heavy pan muting. So you get that real dull sound. But you can hear the flavor of that note. So you're not entirely destroying it. You really want to hear that. You want to hear that it's a D, frankly. Then we get this interesting piece. In just 1 second. So I think that this is like a pinched harmonic. I think it's like a pinched harmonic bend on the G string under the D, so that octave there, and I think it's like a slight bend, so you get to that D sharp. So that's what that is, I think. We'll dial it back again. Oh, give me a sec. Oh, it's not letting me dial it back. Okay. You could probably do it with one hand if you wanted to. It's a bit awkward, but I guess you could do it if you wanted to do it with one guitar live. It's a possibility. I wouldn't necessarily recommend it, but it's possible, I suppose. It's a weird bend though, simply because it's only a 1 fret bend, right? So it's just a half step bend. There's not a ton of bending that's necessary there, but what's always important when it comes to bending is that you're doing it accurately. It's very easy to overshoot, it's very easy to undershoot, as you probably heard there, but a bit of practice again, and you'll probably nail those. The next section, as we heard, back into something a bit familiar. Oh, and then we get into a final riff. Oh, so let me dial it back now. So we do this about 4 times. And then we go into a new ref. And all we're doing here is we're just open note. 3, 5, And then for the last part, oh, forgiveness, forgiveness, oh. And that's the outro riff, right? That just does that for a while. And then it finishes on that open D chord. And just let it ring. And everyone else does their thing. And that's all there is to it. That's the entirety of Madness of the Present Century. So those are all the parts. As we did before on Renegade Sheep, I'm going to try and do a full playthrough. Okay? Now, again, there's a lot of stuff in here that I've messed up. There's a lot of stuff that I need to practice more. But I think it's a pretty good place to start, and for you to start with regards to playing this as well. So let's reel it back and we'll give it a go. All right, so that is the full playthrough of Madness of the Present Century by Voice of Baceprot. I made a few mistakes, clearly, as I went through that, and I'm not sure. I'm not sure about that part. I'm not sure about the discordant part. Like, maybe there's like a hammer-on in there. Maybe it's further up the neck. Maybe it's on a different string. Something along those lines. Maybe it's even here. But either way, I do think that it's from the D to the D sharp. Might be that hammer-on. It's worth considering and having to think about. I could be wrong on any of this. Again, this is just me kind of working stuff out by ear. So your mileage may vary. If you have a different way of doing that, if you think that you know a better way of doing that, by all means, let me know in the comment section below. and I'll have a think about it. And if it's more accurate than my own, I'll pin it, right? And what I would love to see is if you watch this tutorial and you play this through, you use this as a basis, or you and your band kind of play this together, link me in the comment section. I'd love to see it. But yeah, thank you very much for stopping by and for watching. I really appreciate it. I hope that this was useful to you. And of course, if you like this video, hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you want to see more of this kind of stuff in the future, and leave me comments in the comment section below around other songs that you might like to hear me do in the future. I know that people wanted School Revolution as well. That was another popular one on the comments of my last video, so maybe I'll do that one as well at some stage. For now though, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.